The Biden administration is heaping pressure on US port employers to secure a labor deal with some 45,000 workers, or they walked off the job at seaports across the country. The International Longshoremen Association, or the ILA, launched a strike just after midnight on Tuesday after negotiations with the US Maritime Alliance for a new 6-year contract collapsed. The ongoing protest is the first in nearly 50 years. It's choking half the country's ocean shipping, blocking everything from food to automobile shipments across more than 30 ports from Maine to Texas. Analysts say the disruption will cost the economy billions of dollars a day. The two largest carriers have already announced plans to impose extra fees tied to the work stoppage if it stretches for more than a few weeks. But US President Joe Biden has lined up behind the union, urging carriers to offer a strong and fair contract that reflect the contributions of workers. And for more, Sally Patterson joins us live from Washington, D.C. Sally, it's the second day of strikes. The ILA chief has insisted the walk-off will last until demands of the workers are met, or the union are met. What do workers want?
That's right. There are very strong demands being made here in the US by dock workers, saying that they're not going to stop striking until those demands are met. Now, workers have been offered by the United States Maritime Alliance a 50% pay rise over the next 6 years as part of that new contract being negotiated. But union leaders say that's absolutely not enough. That doesn't keep up with the rate of inflation. Instead, they're demanding 77% increases over that time period instead. There are also concerns by workers here about changes in technology, artificial intelligence, and how some of their jobs might be replaced. Now, the unions are also looking at various other parts of their working conditions. There's looking at healthcare. There's looking at other benefits that they do and don't receive. Now, as you say, President Joe Biden has been backing those workers. He said that, these major shipping companies have benefited significantly since the COVID-19 pandemic. And it's high time, he says, that these workers get fair contracts to really pay them back for the work that they have continued to do over the recent period.
Sally, this strike choking half the supply ocean shipping for the United States. But what does it mean for global supply chains?
Well, this is 36 different ports that are affected here along the East Coast, including here in New York and New Jersey port as well. So a major disruption if workers here refuse to work. Now, we know that around 50% of the US's imports come via water. The rest comes through land and is obviously also coming in through the West Coast as well. But experts here say that the West Coast ports cannot cope with the loss of the East Coast. We can't simply replace that income via the West Coast or via land. Instead, there needs to be a long-term solution. There is concerns about the impact on the economy here. Experts say that a short-term hit to the economy won't be so bad and shouldn't see a spike in inflation. But if it goes on more than a week or so, we could see some seriously detrimental impact. Now, globally, there are also issues about knock-on effects on supply chains. It's already been a rough year in terms of Red Sea disruptions as well. And so there are concerns, for example, about ships leaving Asia late and the impact that could have all the way up into late January ahead of Chinese New Year as well. So major impacts being caused by these port workers here in the US ahead of a crucial election time as well.
Well, thanks for that. Sally Patterson reporting live from Washington, D.C.